this PowerPoint presentation. So my name is Rodney Walker. I'm definitely coming to you to talk to you about the learning perspective. Within the learning perspective, there are three major key points to that. The first point is the classical conditioning. The second would be operant conditioning. And then the third would be observational learning. Okay, so now let's go into detail of what classical conditioning means. And we all heard about Pavlov's classical experiment or classic experiment where the dog salivated to the sound of the bell. So what that truly means is classical conditioning is a learning process in which an association is made between a previous neutral stimulant and a stimulant that invokes a response. So what that truly means is when you hear this bell, what does that mean? What does that bell mean to you? To me, it means every time that I hear that, even if it's not my phone, I'm always scrambling around to look and say, hey, where's my phone? I got a message. So in my mind, I feel that's classical conditioning. That's me with that neutral response or that neutral stimulant that's stimulating my brain to say, hey, something needs to happen, something has to happen, something happened before. And the response is, where's my phone? I have a message. Okay, so now let's talk about operant conditioning. We all may have heard of B.F. Skinner, the Skinner box. And what that box is, well, let me just let you see a video and then we'll come back. Okay, operant conditioning is a learning process in which probability of a response occurring is increased or decreased due to reinforcement or punishment. He also found that the timing of when the reinforcements were delivered influenced how quickly a behavior was learned and how strong the response would be. So the Skinner box was created to measure how positive and negative responses affected future behaviors. The key function of the Skinner box is the lever for positive and negative reinforcements. So the positive reinforcement would be the mouse pressing down on the lever to receive the food. The negative would be the mouse was sitting on an electrical current floor. When the light at the top goes off, it's a warning sign for the mouse that a shock is about to happen. So eventually, the hungry rat understood if he pressed the lever, there would be a positive treat and it would stop the electrical shock. Okay, so now that we kind of see what operant conditioning looks like and what it feels like and what the Skinner box in detail, what it did, let's think about it in a different light. Let's think about it as in relationship to a child and then the parent. When the parent is telling them to do the right thing, we give them reinforcements of good behaviors such as candy, treats, rewards. And when they're doing something bad, we punish them, right? We may let them know, sit them down and say, hey, this is not the right thing. Or we tell them to go into a timeout, or sometimes we just punish them all the way around, right? So that's what operant conditioning looks like in a relationship of a child and a parent. Now let's take it a step further. Let's take it to a step where you are in a job, your career. It's you and your boss. So you want to make sure that you're pleasing your boss and doing the right thing. You want to come on time. You want to make sure that you know all your work on time. And with that said, your boss is going to reward you and give you certain things like a raise, like exposure in the company. But when you're doing the wrong thing, hey, you could get fired, right? So the thing about that is the timing when the reinforcements was given made a really huge impact in that Skinner box. Okay, so now let's talk about, last but not least, observational learning. To me, I feel observational learning is the most vital and most important step in the learning perspective. And the reason why I say that, because you have to really see it in your mind first, you have to see it with your eyes, and then mimic that action or that behavior to make sure that you fully understand it and you learn it. So I have a video I want to show you, and then after the video, we kind of talk about it, and then we'll go into my conclusion. But this is the video. Okay, so in that video, we saw the son observing the father and learning a skill that he can use now or in the future. But I want to take it a further step. I definitely want to look at who would be the observer in a different situation and then learning something in the future that may be not so great. So take a look at this video, one more video, and I promise we're going to go to the conclusion. So I just want you to see something.
I just trying to, you gonna give me my baby or not?
I'm trying to put him
I
in
can
the
put my
car.
own child in the car. Don't touch my car. Give me my baby so I can do it.
Stop. You're making a big deal in front of
When
her.
you give me my baby, you can go. I am grown. Don't touch my car, man.
Okay, so yeah, so who's learning in that video? It's the child, right? Because at that very young age, they're very impressionable and they definitely could end up, or that child could end up with some kind of relationship issue or something. So that child in that video was the one that was observing the parents fighting, and what they've learned or what that child could learn could be like detrimental to their future. All right, so in my conclusion, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to present this video in the PowerPoint presentation along with my teammates. And then also thank you, Professor Harris, for allowing us to be in your class and teaching us and instilling us all the things that you know so we can be better in the future. All right, so thank you and goodbye.